Good afternoon. Good afternoon. If you have heard from my wife just now, 16 years ago, I was already diagnosed with cancer. And, it took a long time. By the time I get to a hospital in Mount Elizabeth, Singapore, the oncologist did MRI, X-ray, everything, and then he sat me down. He said, look, I did thousands of cases. I only deal with cancer. But let me show you your MRI. I have never seen a case like you in my entire medical practice. You have cancer from your head to the lymph node, and in 8 parts of your bone is filled with cancer. Basically, you are a walking cancer. From head to toe, you are cancer. So how to treat you? You say, honestly, I never advised anybody before like that, but I'm advising you this. Don't treat your cancer. There's no treatment. Just go for holiday for 3 months. Choose the country that you love the most. Go there, enjoy yourself. No treatment. And come back and get ready. When he meant come back and get ready, what she meant is come back and buy your coffin. So at that time, I was still pretty young, but 39, with this cancer and given 3 months to live. So I said to myself, how can I just sit down and wait to die? After all, the doctor said this is stage 4 cancer. It's not curable. And in 3 months, I will die. So I said, no, I'm not going to sit down and wait to die. So I asked for a second opinion. I went to another doctor called Dr. Ang. And it must be God's leading me, because this doctor sat me down and said, look, what the first doctor told you is all the truth. I can't lie to you. Given the experience we have, you only have 3 months to live. But I am a poker player. For me, you are a fantastic poker card. If you want, the only way to try to heal your cancer is by a special chemo. At that time, I'm talking 16 years ago, this chemical, he said, have not been tested on human yet. But I got to warn you, if you take this chemo, that's why I say it's poker. Because this chemo is so powerful, you may die of this chemo instead of your own cancer. So do you want or not? Because I got to give you this warning. For me, you are my poker game. If I get the right card, you'll be all right. A wrong card, you die. So at that time, between sitting down and wait for 3 months and die, waiting every day to die, I said, no, I want to try. So he hit me with this chemo for 4 months. I lost all my hair, become very sicky, and then went back to the doctor in 4 months after all the chemo. And this Dr. Ang looked at my new MRI, and then I remember the first word he said, after he looked at my MRI, he said, "Walao." I think this is a Singapore way of saying, wow. And then he said, I am very surprised your cancer will respond very well to my poisonous chemo. So looks like I'm winning the poker game. And the doctor said, somehow your cancer actually respond and it's getting smaller. Then, as human, we thought we are okay because the cancer is getting smaller. But while under this kind of treatment, I guess God allowed it. I had a couple in Singapore that came and visit me all the time, a friend. And this couple are staunch Buddhists. They came and taught me about Buddhism. And at that time, when you are told to get 3 months' time, you'll be dead, I can tell you, as a human, the question that comes to your mind is, what is life about? You will seek an answer about life. And this is exactly what I was looking for. So this couple just come like that, teach me about Buddhism, about how to come out of suffering and all this way of practicing. So I went all out. You see, when you are dying, you don't just seek. You will go all out to find out more about your life, why you have to die in 3 months. So I went into Buddhism in a deep way. I go all out because I want to seek an answer about my own life. Why 3 months I will be gone from this world? So I went to India. I went to Tibet, to all places, how the Buddhists and how Buddha walked his journey, to find out an answer about life. Basically, I was seeking God. Who is God and why our life on earth is so terrible? I have to die in 3 months. So I collected a lot of stuff, Buddhism stuff. Some were Taoist stuff from my wife's family. But God gave an incredible message while I was a Buddhist, practicing for so many years, 12 years, even became a vegetarian. The cancer keep coming back. Every 3 years, I get a new area of cancer. And the cancer come on and on. So for 4 times, the cancer come back. The 4th time, which is about 5 years ago, 6 years soon. And this time, the cancer went deep into my brain, onto the right side of my brain, and it grew inside the brain and not just outside. It went inside the brain. And it grew to a size of an avocado, about this size. The tumor went to this size. As you remember, my wife was saying, I went to witness her baptism. And while there, I just collapsed because the cancer was so big. And I was rushed to hospital after that because the pressure in my head is so great. And the doctor that attended to me was Dr. Chi, a brain surgeon. In fact, one of the top brain surgeons in Pantai Hospital and in Asia, Dr. Chi. He showed me the MRI and he said, how serious your case is. Your tumor is so big, your head cannot contain the amount of growth already. If you don't operate immediately, you will die within hours. So they put me on drips, put me on the waiting room to wait for the operation, a 14-hour operation. So while waiting in the waiting room in ICU, a lot of friends heard about me, so they come and visit me. They came and as I look up, I recognize most of the faces, my friends, except one Caucasian. I don't have many Caucasian friends. And this guy walked in front of me and I said, I can't remember you. I'm sorry. Can you tell me your name? And then straight away this man said, don't worry, I'm a pastor. You know, as a staunch Buddhist, the first thing you want to do is, I became very defensive. I said, what is this pastor doing, you know? And he came in front, he said, look, I'm a pastor of your wife's church. I'm here to pray for you. And at that time, I was a staunch Buddhist. So I said, no, don't pray for me. So I began to think of a way how to get rid of this pastor. So he was a very smart pastor, New Zealander. He said, he came in front and said, look, I'm already here with 2 elders to pray for you. We come all the way here. So what can change your mind? So I tell you, when you are dying, and you're going to have an operation soon in a few moments, you will never lie. You will speak words that come out from your heart. So I told this Pastor Kit from New Zealand, I said, 2 things can only change me. And I was speaking, my heart was leading me, every word. I said, I don't know your God. I know Buddha. I'm a Buddhist. I never seen your God before. I need to see this God of yours. 2, you are only a pastor. That one, I think I was trying to chase him away. You are basically a human telling me who is God. It can never work for me. I need a direct line from your God. So, you know, the pastor shook his head. Oh, this fella dying also asking things like that. But I don't know whether he realized I was speaking from my heart. I wanted to know, is he really God? Because I practice Buddhism all the time. And he's a very kind pastor. He came with the 2 elders. He said, never mind, just pray for him. So he came in front and he prayed. And this is God's timing. After he prayed, the doctor came, the nurses came, trolley me to the operating theater after the prayer. And they opened up a hole in my head on the right side, about this size. They cut it up and took out the skull, and they cut my brain. They have to go in and cut 1/4 of my brain, which is filled with the cancer. Ryan, can you show the brain with the cut up portion so that people understand what I mean? This is an MRI of my brain 5.5 years ago, or 6 years. About 5 years ago, with the right side you can see already cut. So when they cut me the second time, the first time was 14 hours. I called my wife and said, I'm so sorry, there were complications during the 14-hour operation. Needed my wife to sign a form to go in for a second operation. This time they have to cut certain area of the brain so that I will stop shaking, spasm. And after the second cut, which is 11-hour operation, altogether my operation lasted 25 hours. Of course, your body cannot take 25 hours of operation. So the body gave up. My body gave up. I fell into a coma, became a vegetable. What they call medically vegetarian. Vegetable form means you cannot move, you are basically like a dead man, you know. So after that, they put me in the ICU with 12 tubes coming out of my body, connected to all my organs. On the 4th day, the doctor called my father and my wife to come in. 4 specialists, including the brain surgeon. He said, look, We have done thousands of cases. And when something like this happens, we have to call the next of kin, because we know through experience the man will, with this kind of thing, will die. So he told my father, he said, the machine showed that your son have both lungs are 100% dead. Both kidney 90% dead. And the other organs are also dying. So it's a matter of hours, but I can tell you, he is basically dead. So I told my wife, please sign a form so that we can close this case, switch off everything. Don't waste time, you know, we are expert, specialists, doctor. When things like that happen through our experience, he's technically dead. So you sign the form, then we can put him in a mortuary, which is in the ice room. Told my father, get ready, basically to bury me, prepare all the necessary thing. So of course, as a Hokkien, it's very hard to get a Hokkien cemetery place. My father actually went to buy a site for burial. So 4 doctors confirmed I'm dead. So on the 5th day, after they confirmed I'm dead, I had a vision. And for 7 days, I was in a coma stage, meaning like a vegetable stage. On the 5th day, I saw this vision. Suddenly, I see myself standing up. Of course, in reality, I'm lying in a ICU bed. And then a voice came to my right ear. It says, look up. So I look up, and suddenly the sky opened up, like the heavens open up. The clouds start parting, you know. And the thing I see, Ryan, can you show them the light? Just basically the light. Just the light. I want to give you a taste of what I saw in my coma while I was in darkness. This is what I see. As it's coming down, I was saying to myself, why is the sun coming down towards me? It passes through clouds. And then as it comes nearer to me, you see, I may not know Jesus at that time as a Buddhist, but my wife, being a Christian for 3 years already, each time she come back to the house, she'll bring magazine, newspaper, and books filled with the face of the Lord Jesus. That's how I know how Lord Jesus looked like. And he knows I know how he looks like. So as it comes nearer, Brian, can you show them what I actually see? This is an image of what I saw of the Lord Jesus coming down, because I realized it's not the sun. It's a being at that time when I thought to myself, is wearing a gown of a sunlight from head to toe. It's a bright light. So with this image I saw, it's a live image. It's talking image. And it comes down, it descends down all the way to my right. Of course, why on the right, nobody knows. Technically, when they announced me dead on the 4th day, remember I woke up on the 7th day, means I was dead for 3 days. Why 3 days? I don't know. I woke up after the 3 days announcement. And then as it stands on my right, the Lord standing on the right. I can never produce his voice for you, but I'm going to try and tell you how I felt when he spoke on the right. And this is why I hear. Dode, with like thunder. Thunder talking to you. I cannot produce thunder for you, but this is the voice. Twice he called my name. Tony. Well, first thing that come to my mind, what? Who am I? I already felt that this is a powerful being and it is God. And the voice is so powerful. I was saying to myself, any devil or evil spirit will run away. And this is how incredible our God is. The first word that came while standing on the right is, do not be afraid. That's all. And when even the words do not be afraid, the whole building is trembling. So he knows I will probably be afraid because it's so powerful, the voice. But yet, it's so unique. The voice is so powerful with thunder, but you can feel love in that thundery voice. I cannot explain. I've never heard a voice like that. You can feel love. It's like your father scolding you, all kinds of scolding, and yet you can feel he loves me. So, after that, do not be afraid. It's still standing on the right. Again, this came. Tony! Bum, 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 bum. And this is the word that came. Remember this. I walk in front of you for the rest of your life. And that's it. 2 words. God don't waste a lot of time with you. But these 2 words changed my whole life. Do not be afraid. And I walk in front of you for the rest of your life. Changed me completely. And then the image all disappeared. I don't know, is it because of the voice or the incredible thundery voice that wake me up? On the 7th day, exactly 7th day, I woke up from my coma. Of course, can you imagine the 4 doctors can confirm you're dead? See a dead man wake up, so they all rushed to my ICU room and they brought 2 machines. Of course, at that time I was already awake. I heard the first doctor tell the second doctor, after they test my lungs, a machine that tests my lungs, "Hey, John, the lungs is working 100%. You can feel they are trembling when they say things like that because doctors don't believe things like that can happen. Then another machine came and they tested my kidney. Again, one doctor said, "Hey, the kidney also working 100%. So, this is all for the glory of our God. Even for the doctors who doesn't believe that dead man can wake up. So, after that, the brain surgeon, the last one to come in, he came in, he said, "Look, this is Dr. Chi, the brain surgeon who cut my head." He said, "I have very good news for you. And also I have very bad news for you. The good news is 4 of us confirm you are surely dead. But you wake up. So that's a very good news. But I also got very bad news. As you saw just now, the slide on the TV, I already cut 1/4 of your brain. It's all taken out. So, of course, the first question asked, curious, is, what happened to my brain? I already throw in the dustbin. My brain is inside the dustbin? And he said, that is the bad news, okay? That part of the brain, he said, control. I'm a brain surgeon. I know how the body works. That part of your brain control your hand, both your hand, and both your leg. So I can guarantee you, I have to tell you this, that from neck down, you'll be a paralyzed man. You will never feel anything. You can never use your limbs from neck down. Everything else below, you're paralyzed. So he got me a wheelchair and say this, that you will live in this wheelchair. The sad news is you live in this wheelchair for the rest of your life because you cannot use your leg. And true enough, after he said that, I became curious. I wanted to feel my arms and my leg. And I realized after he told me that, I couldn't feel my leg. I couldn't feel my hand. I was paralyzed from neck down. So as you can imagine, they put me in a resting room because I woke up already. So in this resting room, all the friends heard, wow, my dead friend is awake. So they all come and visit me. So while waiting in the ICU waiting room, I told my friends, that's how much human doubt. And God knows, I doubt. I'm not perfect. I doubt what I saw. So I told my friends who came and visit me, and I said, look, I cannot have seen God. How can I see God? So this was the word I was going to use. I said, the doctors have put so much injection in me, I am having hallucination. Hallucination, you have to go with hallu, then nation. So the first two words, hallu, came out of my mouth. Nation haven't even come out of my mouth. A knock came from the door. Tock, 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 tock. And guess who came in? The brain surgeon who cut my head came in. He stand next to me. So I couldn't finish the word hallucination. And came near, and then he said, look, I'm a brain surgeon. Most doctor, we are not allowed to talk to the patient. But I'm here to tell you, I go and cut heads. Everywhere I go, I only cut heads. And I cut brains. Thousands of brains I cut. But I'm telling you this, I can't sleep for 10 days. So of course the first question, what's there to do with me? You cannot sleep 10 days. And he said this, that I remember very clearly. He said this, I have never cut a head like yours before as a brain surgeon. So I believe after I tell you this, I can sleep. You have gone through a miracle. Hey, doctor tells you things like that, Must be very serious. So I tell you, the first thing I want to do in my mind was, Lord God, please forgive me. I want to kneel down to him to say I'm sorry because I doubt. After what he shown me and did to me, I doubt. I can't kneel down because I'm a paralyzed man. All I could say was, forgive me because I doubt. And the word hallucination never complete. He didn't allow me to complete. All I hear was from the doctor, it's a miracle. Then, remember I'm a paralyzed man. Neck down, I cannot use. So my wife had to arrange to put me in Pampers. I'm a 50-year-old man, 50-year-old man wearing Pampers. Pampers so big. Embarrassing. Because I cannot move. So they put me in the wheelchair. I went back to condo with two nurses. Each time I want to go to the toilet, two nurses will carry me. One left, one right, put me in toilet bowl. Someone have to take out my Pampers. Can you imagine? And this Lord knows, that I need to know his words. So I became very curious after what I saw and after what the doctor tell me is a miracle, even more curious that this God must be real. I mean, the brain surgeon say it's a miracle. So I became very curious. I remember I cannot use my hand, cannot use my leg. So in a wheelchair, wearing a Pampers, there was a stand like this. They could put a Bible in front of me. And there was two bars which I can put my left hand and right hand on it. But some pastor asked me when I was sharing, but Tony, your left arm, right arm cannot use. So how do you turn the Bible? Our God have a sense of humor. Nothing moved. I'm paralyzed. But when I was going to read the Bible, this finger start moving. Nothing moved except this. God have a sense of humor. I could turn the page of the Bible with this finger. Page after page. So I finished the Bible because I became so curious, and I do nothing except read Bible because I cannot go shopping center, which I want, and the Lord knows if Tony can walk and without wearing pampers, he will go to the shopping center to enjoy himself. You have no time to read the Bible. So 24 hours a day, I'm just reading the Bible. So in 4 months, I finished the whole Bible. And on the last day, when I use this finger to close the last page of the Bible, I close it up. I can feel heat. Remember, I'm paralyzed. I can feel heat in my leg after I finish the Bible. And as a paralyzed man, you get very curious. Why is my leg so hot? Burning. Without me knowing, I stood up from my wheelchair. And I said, is this real? I'm paralyzed. 4 doctors say, how come I'm standing up? And then I become curious. I decided to try, maybe I can walk. And I started walking step by step. But according to my wife, he saw me walking. He said, very wobbly. I was walking like that, 1 step at a time. But today, I tell you, how awesome is this God? I can do ballroom dancing with my wife. For a man with 3/4 brain only. So everywhere I go, in all the churches in Singapore, especially in Singapore, because they are all Hokkien, I say, you are now listening to a man which is Sasuku. Sasuku in Hokkien means 3/4. But I didn't know that our God doesn't like it. Because what I am saying, without me knowing, when I say I'm Sasuku, in fact, I got a nickname in Singapore, the Sasuku man. And God, how can you glorify me if you are a Sasuku man? So he didn't want that. And I didn't know. So guess what happened? This year, I did another MRI by a professor, a cancer professor in Australia. And I'm going to show you the MRI, which is done only a few months ago. Ryan, this is my latest MRI. Look at what God can do for you. If God can give me a new brain, which every doctor, all the top specialists in this whole world say is impossible. Tony, only liver can regenerate. No brain in this entire universe, as a doctor, I can tell you, is impossible. So a doctor, you believe or not, in Singapore, a top specialist stand up on stage and tell all the other doctors, this is miracle. No doctor ever dared to do that. This doctor say, this is miracle. So I can use this now to tell all of you and to the world that he is God. Because no one else can give you a new brain unless he created you. By his word, he can give you a new brain. He is God. That's it. So my objective today is to point to all of you. It's nothing to do with me. I'm just an instrument. It's to point you all to him, that he is God. He woke me up from death. He gave me life. He showed me who he is. He teach me how to know his words through the Bible. And through the Bible, his living words, which is in Hebrew 4 verse 12, that my words are life. And these words come directly from God. So don't ever just read the Bible for fun. Every word comes from Him. Know the Bible, know His words. Because when you die, you cannot bring anything with you except God's words. You can come to His kingdom. So what has happened to me is just basically a foretaste. A foretaste of what God is going to do for all of you. If you look at Revelation chapter 21, verses 4 and 5, God say, I will bring you to a place where there will be no suffering, no pain. And most important, He says in Revelation 21, 4 and 5, there will be no death. Death does not exist in the place where He's bringing you. So I have to go through a lot to come to truly know who is real God. I know I have a friend here sitting behind who still am thinking, is he really God? So I'm telling this friend who is now here, He is God. I am testifying with my life because I'm a dead man. He bring me up. Only God can do that. Only God can bring your soul back when you are confirmed dead. And God not only bring me back, make this 3/4 brain man to be a full brain man. Beyond doctor understanding. And the good news is, the one who cut my head, called Dr. Chi, is a top brain surgeon in Malaysia and Asia. After 12 months, he became Christian. How awesome is our God? He can use my brain and my body to change a person. So I'm hoping that He will also use this body to change all of you, so that you believe He is God. Thank you.